So I would like to say good morning to Lisa. Lisa called me out because a few days back I teased this awful story of a new airplane groper, and I guess it got buried. We got late. I didn't do the story, and guess what? It's listeners like Lisa, who is in Brandon. Thank you, Lisa, who is keeping me on my toes and calling me out. You know, it happens a lot. If I promote something, and listen, 99% of the time I promote something, hey, coming up, and we do it. But there are a couple items that do slip through the cracks. Listen, I'm sorry. I apologize. And Lisa is a listener that's keeping me on my toes, and it's about the Groper story. And I think I even said, oh, man, there's a groping incident on an airplane. You got to hear this. And then, well, you didn't hear it because I forgot about it. It got buried in the bottom of a pile, and Lisa's called me out. So here's the deal. And this happened back in March, but then the guy was called in to be interviewed by the FBI, and then subsequently charges have been filed. So that's why, it's taken a little time for this story to develop. But listen to the circumstances. Listen to how bizarre this is. A doctor from Georgia accused of groping the crotch. What the hell was that?
A perfect basket in the trash can.
What did you just throw something?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All
I didn't know.
I just heard what was that?
I'm really making a lot of baskets over here today. It was my plate.
You threw a plate?
Sorry about that.
Okay, all right. So this doctor from Georgia accused of groping the crotch of a woman who was sitting right next to him on a Delta flight. And they were on their way to Maine.
He just went right for the crotch.
Yeah, but this is where it gets bizarre. The doctor was on his way from Atlanta to Portland, Maine on Delta 2138. He was going up to propose to his girlfriend to make her his fiancée. What? And I guess he wanted to get some last-minute woman-stranger crotch grope in before he got off the plane in Portland to deal with his girlfriend, who he wants to be his wife.
Listen, that perf switch went off.
Dr. Jake Namjeek Cho, a nephrologist from Fayetteville, was on board Delta 2138. Oh, guys, do you know what a nephrologist is?
He could have been your doctor recently.
Well, I didn't see a nephrologist.
Well, if
I saw a urologist for the kidney stones. But what, Roxanne, you're right. What is a nephrologist?
A kidney doc.
That is correct. So this dude's a kidney doc, a nephrologist, and he gropes this woman. The incident apparently took place on a Boeing 737 Delta Atlanta to Portland, and shortly after it landed, the woman reported that the suspect continuously leaned into her seat throughout the flight while appearing to be asleep. Oh, jeez. He's pulling the old sleep groping scam-a-llama ding-dong over here. He allegedly placed his hand on her thigh and her buttocks while touching her feet with his feet.
Playing a little footsie.
Can you imagine being next to this? You're like in a Boeing 737. It's a 3-and-3 configuration. You're sitting next to some kind of handsy perv.
Oh, sorry, my hand keeps slipping on your crotch.
Well, hey, guess what? You're joking around. No, that's what happens here. Listen to this. So he tried to use turbulence as the excuse to make... Oh, this is funny?
I'm sorry for the woman who got
woman is getting groped?
No.
And you're laughing?
No, I'm not
You're
laughing.
laughing.
I'm not laughing at this woman who was assaulted. I'm just laughing
This
at
is
the
grotesque.
preposterousness.
Your behavior is grotesque.
No, whoa, this is a bumpy ride. Let me hold on to something.
Well, that's what the guy did. So the excuse was when they hit turbulence, it would be like he was jolted into grabbing her crotch. This is the worst cover story ever. So This is the actual language from the police report for when she complained. During turbulence, he, quote, appeared to have spasmed and reached into her crotch.
Well, now he has spasms.
So turbulence. And then he spasms during the turbulence and just suddenly dives into her crotch. Touched her genitals from outside her pants, according to the complaint. Excuse me, the woman yells. And the creepy doctor dude then removes his hand. Sounds like he should have been a different type of doctor. He's a kidney doc. He's a nephrologist. He should have been a
OB.
Gynecologist. Yeah. The male passenger appeared to be sleeping or pretending to sleep throughout and did not touch the woman after retracting his hand. Dr. Jake Namjeet Cho, he's an Atlanta area physician. So 2 days later, an FBI agent and federal air marshal interviewed Cho at the Portland, Maine airport where he was headed before he got on his flight back to Atlanta. He denied touching the accuser, said that she never said anything to him, said, I'm willing to take a polygraph examination. He's probably one of those people that practice their whole life on how to beat a polygraph, right? Mm-hmm. So he denied the whole incident. Then on April 1st, he went to the FBI's office in Portland for another voluntary interview. He underwent the polygraph test. So they gave him, he said, polygraph me. So they polygraphed him. After the examination, he continued to deny that he touched the woman, but then admitted that he had done so, but insisted that it was not sexual. What? I didn't touch her. Then finally he breaks down and says, I touched the woman? But
then he says I'm reading it, he just touched her with his foot, is what he's saying.
Oh, this guy's a creep.
When we got in the air, I began to relax. I stretched my legs. At some point, I touched my left foot against her right foot and maintained the contact until I fell asleep. That's what he wrote in his statement. In addition to maintaining the foot contact, I used the contact to keep myself upright as I have shorter legs.
This is convoluted.
When I woke up, I was leaning on my left, facing her. At some point, I saw her and reached out and grabbed her upper right thigh with my hand. I intended to only squeeze her upper right thigh and never intended to touch her crotch. Because my glasses were off and it was dark, my hand slipped from her upper thigh to her crotch. Man, this guy's all over the road.
Yeah, what?
I'm sorry. This guy's all over her crotch.
Oh, yeah.
Why was he intending to squeeze her upper right thigh?
I'm looking at a picture of him. He's in his lab coat, sitting at his desk in his office in Atlanta. This is crazy.
Well, the big question, did she say yes?
We don't know about the fiance. I don't know if when he got off the flight, if he told the fiance to be the girlfriend. Oh, by the way, I grabbed the kibbles and bits of the woman sitting next to me on my delta. You know, it's very turbulent, and the turbulence forced my hand just to grab her.
Is that going to be a problem, babe?
By the way, so he has been charged now, so that's why the stories are new, because this is like March to April, the interviews with the FBI, the polygraph test. So he's been charged, and if he's convicted, he faces up to 2 years behind bars, federal prison, and a $250,000 fine. By the way, this guy graduated from UF.
Yeah, he's a gator.
This dude, yeah.
Chomp, chomp.
Good thing he didn't chomp down on that crotch. So he graduated from the University of Florida College of Medicine just recently, 2017. Completed his residency in medicine 3 years later. In 2022, just last year, he completed a nephrology fellowship at the Maine Medical Center. Maybe that's where he met his girlfriend, who he was proposing to, while he was flying up and grabbing, some strange woman's crotch in the seat next to him.
See, if you look at the timeline, the FBI agents didn't interview him until he was on his flight back to Georgia at the airport. They grabbed him at the airport, so I'm sure he did. If he was intending to propose, he probably did propose.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Yeah, but there's no word on whether the fiance has, been apprised of the situation, whether she knows about this, whether
knows now.
Whether the proposal still is stuck, whether they're still engaged. I don't know. But, man, that's a creepy deal. So, Lisa, I apologize for missing out on the story, teasing it a couple days ago. So there you go. That's Dr. Groper and the Delta story.